From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Around Foxborough. I'm your host today, Jared Craig, and I'm joined by two members of the Foxborough Founders Day Committee. I have the chair, Scott O'Donnell, and also Elizabeth Prevost. Prevost? Prevost. I'm so sorry.
No
I should have checked
worries.
beforehand. I'm so happy to have both of you here to talk about Founders Day, the biggest Foxborough event of the year, every year.
Yep.
Thanks to the two of you for all the work that you do and for coming to talk to us about it. It's such a great event. It's a whole day from, the parade in the morning to the fireworks at night. I was wondering if you could give a little bit of history and context around the event and how it's evolved over the years from when it first started.
Okay, Elizabeth, you can start if you wish.
Yeah, so Founders Day started off as Fireman's Field Day, which was kind of all the surrounding firefighters would come, and it was a competition, just kind of similar to like the Highland competitions, if you are familiar with that.
Yeah,
but for the
and there was a
firefighters,
carnival atmosphere for everybody to come as well.
Like sort of like games and like
all that.
ladder races and things.
Yeah. And then in 1987, actually on June 13th, we choose the Saturday closest to June 10th because that is the founding of Foxborough. So that fell on June 13th that year, and they had just restored the statue up on Memorial Hall. And before they put it back up, since it was such a big deal, they let all the people in the town look at it, take pictures with it, and it just turned into a whole Founders Day celebration.
So cool.
It originated with the Historical Society and then kind of morphed into its own committee. It got bigger and bigger over the years. And while we still have a good relationship with the Historical Society, we're our own committee.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and you all do so much work for it to make this event happen.
We meet year round,
You do meet year round. It's not
Okay.
just like you didn't
No.
2 weeks ago.
It
get
gets
back
a little more
together.
intense in May, but we do meet year round. So,
Yeah,
So what happens in July, right after?
Oh, we have a party.
yeah.
Oh, good, good. All right, you got.
We
Because
get-
we just got done with
Yeah.
Founders Day.
We have like a month of
Yeah.
relaxing, celebrating, and then August, September, we're right back into it.
Yeah, October is our annual meeting where we vote on board members and, we decide on certain things, and that's our annual meeting. So it's the one official meeting where, everybody goes to and,
So if folks want to join the committee, it would be good to do that before October, or.
They can join whenever.
they can come Tuesday if they
Yeah.
want. Yeah. So we meet the first Tuesday of the month, and once May hits, we meet every Tuesday because obviously it gets a little more intense. There's more planning and stuff like that, and it goes from ideas, what are we going to do this year, to like the nuts and bolts. What's the timing? How many people do we have in the parade? How do we set them up? Field stuff or the fireworks ready to go. So it gets a little bit more intense, but still fun.
Great. So for those people who might not have experienced the Founders Day before, they're probably few and far between. But what is a typical day of Founders Day look like? Can you take us through a timeline of
Sure.
events?
And Elizabeth can fill in too if I forget anything. We start with the parade. We set up at 132 Chestnut Street.
Bright
It's
and
that-
early.
Bright and early. It's that office condo area.
Across from the charter school.
Across from the charter school mobile station, that's correct. I would say Robinson Hill School, but I'm old.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so the parade starts. The route is up Central Street. We take a right on Railroad and a left on Bird, back to the Common, down South Street. And this is fairly new. We started doing it last year because all the floats got bunched up at the Booth Field, so we ramped it back a little bit. So it ends at Carpenter Street, so all the floats take a left and they have an easy exit.
Right in
Especially
front
the
of
fire
the
trucks
IGO
and
and
right in front of the IGO,
church there.
And then everybody's right there. They pile into the field. We have field events. It's all nonprofits, which is great because some nonprofits are the biggest fundraiser of the year, which is awesome for us and awesome
Can you
for.
name name a couple of the highlights from that day who were there?
The Boy Scouts do their the twirly potato
twirly
things.
chips,
Yeah.
I always love those.
Let's see.
The garden club does strawberry shortcake.
That's a fan favorite
Yeah.
for sure. My favorite was the The Knights of Columbus did lobster rolls,
I had one of those
and
last
they were only
year.
$10, so that was great.
Yeah,
So you can
10
have-
bucks for lobster rolls.
You can have a couple
It's
of
a
those. The Rotary Club has their chuck wagon.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Last year we brought back the cow plop, which
Yeah,
a lot of people were excited about.
Yeah,
Very
that's
exciting.
That's a biggie. Yeah. So it's a fundraiser for Founders Day. We have a Founders Day table, raffle items. You buy your tickets, you put them in the basket.
Cool.
And also another little bit of our fundraisings as well as we have a grid. We put a cow in a fenced off grid. And when the cow does his business, if you have that grid number and you have that deed, we call them deeds, you buy a deed.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And if the cow fertilizes your deed, then you win a 50-50 raffle. So it's
Fantastic.
great, yeah.
Last year we had Miss Gigi the cow. I'm not sure if she'll be back this year, but
She's a
No,
celebrity.
she said she enjoyed it and we'll be back.
Good. That's
Glad to
No,
hear
awesome.
I
that.
don't know who the cow is.
All right, so that's pretty much up until the field day on the booth,
Right.
and then fireworks are still happening, I assume,
Yes.
this year.
Yeah, we can't do without the fireworks.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the main thrust of our fundraising. While we do have other expenses, obviously maybe not obviously, but the fireworks is a big chunk of that.
yes.
We have a great fireworks company. Since they started working with us, they got the contract for Gillette. So
Oh, cool.
they're very familiar with our permitting and all that stuff. They have a very
Same
good
fire
relation
department.
with Foxboro Fire. And the fire department's great as far as coordinating stuff. Deputy Chief Buckley takes a lot off our hands and coordinates with the state fire inspector and all the stuff he needs to do. Coordination with the fire department, the pyrotechnics company.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take you back to the beginning then, because I want to know what time should people be in place. The parade starts at.
Parade starts at 9.
No, it starts at 10.
Parade starts at 10. You should be there by
You're there
9.
Be there by
Well, you
9.
have to be
I
there
get
before
there
then.
early. I get there at 7 in the morning,
Awesome.
helping people line up.
Big
The
box of
earlier,
Joe.
the better, because
Okay.
we want to make sure everyone's there. Last year we had a few stragglers, and it's really hard to get people in their position if they're supposed to be in the middle of a section, because we have our 4 sections, and everyone has a place. And if you're late,
If people are in the parade, you're saying they need to be there on time because it's
Yeah.
really tricky to.
As far as the fans are concerned, 10 o'clock takes about an hour, and then we all dump out at the booth. And at the booth, we get the field, we get all the great food and fun activities, we got bands and other entertainment things. So it's great.
Awesome.
Then there's a little downtime between probably 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. People start filling in again, and we get ready for the fireworks.
we got live music playing
Oh,
while
we
we're
do
waiting.
have live
Yeah.
music towards
And-
the end. So
Any bands that we've booked that you want to shout out?
I would if I could.
I don't
but
have them off my
don't
name. I know that
know.
Bob has updated the website. Everything is on our website.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I don't
Which
know who
is-
has booked. It's it's a pretty
Website's
dynamic thing
Foxboro
going
Founders
on.
Day.
FoxboroFoundersDay.com.
With the UGH.
Perfect. And if we have any questions, we can email.
Yes.
Or if we want to sign up to volunteer,
Yeah.
we can email.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a portion on there. You can contact us. You just put in your name, your email, write a little subject line,
Right.
and I'll get back to you.
So
Great.
Yes, you
That's
will.
Elizabeth.
No, we need volunteers for the day before. We meet real early in the morning. We set up and.
So you start setting up on Friday.
We
Yeah,
do, yeah.
So that takes
Work
about,
all day.
That takes up till about noontime.
Yeah, we start around 7:30,
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
7. We meet for breakfast, and then we get up, we get going, we put up our tents, we put up the stage, we line the field, we line the cow chip thing.
Mhm.
It's it takes a while, but the more help we have, the less time it takes, and we're happy to train anybody that wants to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, then the next day, we get up in the morning for Founders Day, and then the day afterwards, we have a rake brigade, and we show up at the field to
Booth field.
clean up all the stuff from the fireworks.
The cow chips.
They're pretty. No, we don't clean those up. But the fireworks are pretty low, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of debris and stuff,
Okay.
cardboard and whatnot. Yeah.
All right. So in terms of
Nice break.
the parade, yeah, I know. Sorry, we want people at home to be able to see you.
I'm not crying. I just,
It's just such a lovely day.
it's emotional about Founders Day.
What's the town's involvement? I know that you probably need to get permits and everything. Or do you find that town hall is supportive of this event, and what role do they
more
play?
than we don't do it without the town. The DPW, the fire department, the police department, town hall. They've been so good to us. We meet every couple times a year and make sure we're all on board with what needs to happen. Our sponsors are great. I'm not going to name out here because I don't want to leave anybody off, but they'll be well promoted, well advertised, well recognized. The town really comes together, businesses and the people, so it's great.
Cool. All right. Opinion question. What's like inside scoop? What's the best vantage point in your opinion for the parade?
I'm never there, so.
You're never there? Oh, well, I should tell you.
I'm at the booth playground at that point.
I'll let you know.
When I was growing up, I would always be over by Comey's Cleaners.
Okay.
I think that is my favorite place to be with.
Like the corner of the common.
Yes, but if you're looking for a place that's a little more quiet, less people are there, I would say go to Railroad Ave.
Okay.
Because there's just something about that area that people just don't really want to go to. Also, over by Rally Point, there always seems to be a break in the crowd. So if you're looking for somewhere new, somewhere to get the best view, not a lot of people around, I'd also say it's probably one of the safer ones, because if you're along Main Street and you're not behind the cones, I will call you out. Unfortunately, I do spend a lot of the parade asking people to step back, because safety is a big thing, especially with we got big dump trucks, we got big floats.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get through these corners. So if you're looking for somewhere safe, somewhere where I won't yell at you, go over towards Railroad, go over towards Bird. We love going past the senior center, seeing them all out.
Yep.
Love going past Doolittle, seeing everyone out there. That's why we go over that way, make sure everyone at Doolittle gets to see us.
Great.
Well, those two places are going to be crowded now because
Yeah.
everybody's going to go because you mentioned it. So.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see how many
I
people
know,
watch
it'll
this
be
get this.
interesting. Yeah.
And I'd say if you have kids, I've always found that when my kids are in the parade, they throw all their candy out first. So
Yeah.
you want to be at the beginning of the parade if your goal is to get candy.
I try and pick it up as I go, and I look for the kids who don't have any, and I hand it off.
Yeah. Poor people down by Carpenter Street have nothing.
There's nothing left by the
There's
time they
nothing
get there.
Awesome. So any tips in terms of parking? I know, Scott, you had talked to us on election night about the shuttles. Can you tell us again where those shuttles are?
Yeah, a local business, a family business, they run assisted living. So they have the shuttle buses that they use for their business, but they send us to them for Founders Day. And the route roughly is, I might miss a couple of stops, but this parade setup area, it goes up Central Street, stops at the main stops are like the Senior Center, up around the theater / Station 1, and there's a couple stops along the way, and they go to they end up at the last stop is the booth. Then they continue on to the high school because there is parking at the high school.
Oh, right.
And then they circle probably like Walnut Street back to 140 Central Street, and they do that loop. Now that it's good for people that need to get from one place to another. Maybe they're unable or unwilling to walk that far, which is fine. That's why we get the shuttles. And it's also good for the parade participants because they start there and they end there, you know, so it gets those people back as well.
Are they running every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes? Do you know, or are they just doing the loop?
They just do the loop, and we get two buses. Hopefully, we'll have two buses this year. So, with two buses doing the loop, it's pretty consistent. Nobody's waiting that long. It's not scheduled stops.
But that starts right after the parade and ends once the booth is closed.
Once the booth is closed.
And the bus stops are labeled, so you just look for a sign. It'll say bus stop 1, bus stop 2, so you can wait for the bus.
Blue and gold signs, or are they big white signs?
I think they have.
We're making new ones this year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because we ordered the A-frames, and we're gonna have some new signage on that. So
great.
Yeah, that'll be good. We should talk about the rocket drive.
Yeah.
Talk about the rocket drive.
The rocket drive is coming up. It's Saturday, May 25th.
Oh, great.
Patty Prevost, my mom, runs it.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Patty.
Shout out to Patty. So we're going to be stationed around the common. We're going to be at the 5 points. So you'll see one volunteer holding the rocket, one volunteer holding stickers. We'll be like, please donate, loose change, anything you got, anything, because it all goes towards the firework fund. Cool. So you give us your loose change, we give you a sticker saying you're a supporter, and then you can put that in your dash so then you won't get pestered by us if you have to go around again.
Right, that's a get out of jail free card. And also it has our QR code on it. You can donate on it with our QR code. Cool. So there's no excuses for saying I don't have any cash on me.
We'll just give you that
because
sticker.
We give you the QR code, and all you need is a cell phone to do that.
Yeah, that's smart because I never carry cash anymore.
No, that was my idea.
Yeah,
so
great.
we'll be there.
No.
We'll be there 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, May 25th.
Great.
And we're still looking for volunteers. So if anybody wants to volunteer, we have a sign-up genius. I'm going to post it on Facebook.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
should.
post the sign up genius on
I
Facebook?
will.
Yeah,
I've been
you
meaning
do
to.
that.
I've been
Okay.
slacking a little.
And the website again is Foxborough Founders Day with the UGH.
Yes.
And you can find us on foxborofoundersday.com. You can find us
Facebook.
on Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram.
Are we on Twitter, TikTok? Yeah.
No. I mean, I do TikTok, but it's not
I
really.
think I saw you on Instagram at
Yes,
one point. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
That's TikTok. Instagram is where I do most of my posting,
Yeah,
and then I
right.
cross-post to Facebook.
Very nice.
No,
Perfect.
it comes out great. And
That'll
Elizabeth
hit most
does a great
people.
job with our social media.
I love it.
Because social media is also the venue for us to solicit donations, find volunteers.
Yeah.
And one thing I did want to bring up too is that we're a little bit behind on. Again, people are real generous, and we get stuff probably towards the end a lot. But we will feature your business on our
Yes.
website. And day of, we need some raffle items for our tent.
Okay.
Day of, we have some great raffle items. We have signed footballs from the Patriots and some really great donations. I think those might be on our website as well.
Yes, they are.
And we're constantly updating that. So any business owners that want to support Founders Day and get a little love from us as far as mentions and like that, anything, gift cards from restaurants, services. We had someone donate a massage person,
Cool.
spa type situation,
Awesome.
and that's just off the top of my head what came in recently. So
All great prizes. So
yeah,
and
they
you're still
are
looking for
pretty
more.
good. If you've ever been to any kind of fundraiser where you buy the tickets and you put them in the back, it'll be that situation.
Great. You had mentioned the Patriots. They're usually on like one of the fire trucks. Are they doing that again this year?
We're expecting that again this year too. We don't know which players come year to year.
Yeah.
Last year we had both quarterbacks. I was kind of
Yeah,
psyched
that
to see
was
them. Yeah.
was really
wild.
cool.
That was
So maybe we'll get two
surprise.
new quarterbacks
Yeah.
because I don't know where the other two are.
Get Coach Mayo up there, maybe.
I love it. Yeah, but they decide pretty close to the event who gets to go.
It's usually the day before while we're setting up. Monica
Yeah.
will get a text.
It's always a nice surprise, but they always send. And Partners in Patriotism is a great donor to us as well. They really do take care of us. So
Yeah, they have their hands all over town.
Yeah.
The Fox statues that
Yeah.
were unveiled at Founders Day last
Right.
year.
Yeah.
not to call out any one donor, but there's many, but they've
course,
been good to us.
Yep, awesome. And then in terms of the parade, how many other towns are involved? Because there's usually like a whole parade of fire trucks, which makes sense now, knowing that it used to be like
Yeah.
the fire brigade day.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch, and I'm always surprised. The fire department sends out the invitation. They send the trucks, so it's different every year. And sometimes you get those cool old timey trucks.
Yeah.
And the other towns are really into it. I think it's one of the parades that they really enjoy sending people to and trucks to. I saw one from Osterville last year. I was like, Osterville, that's
on
a
the Cape,
that's a
isn't it?
hike,
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And is it true all three elementary schools? I mean, IGO Dad, I know that IGO is going to be in the
IGO.
parade. Yeah, you're IGO? Nice. Are all three elementary schools going to do a float this year?
Monica would best to tell
I
us for
know-
that.
I know there were talks of it. I've been in
Yeah.
contact with the BIT. I
Cool.
really want to get them back involved like they were back when we had the Taylor Twirlers,
Yeah.
trying to
Oh,
get things like
cool.
that back.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing this a little bit early, which is great for awareness because we still need volunteers and we can't
This
do it.
interview.
This interview,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't do it, a couple of days
Too
before
close
the
before.
event, but we're still getting applications for the parade. It's always great.
Oh, it's still open.
Yep.
Oh yeah. We're looking for floats for the parade if anybody wants to do that. The field is all nonprofits, local businesses if they want to support Founders Day and put a parade in and get a little recognition for what they do in our town. And
O'Donnell Brothers.
Go for it.
Really?
we don't have a float this year.
Not this year?
Don't
No?
embarrass me, but thanks for
Sorry.
mentioning.
Sorry.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right. One thing we haven't talked about during the day is the doll carriage parade. It's always a big highlight. Is
Yeah,
that
it is,
still
yeah.
happening? Or
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be at the
Excellent.
tennis courts again, and
Nice. Do you know what
yeah.
time? Is it a specific time or is it ongoing for a little while?
It's usually after the parade, around 12 o'clock.
Okay.
yeah, right after the parade, around 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's one of the first things of Founders Day,
Nice.
and also at the field, the firemen this year will be setting up their. They set it up as a room, so
Yeah,
they
their
basically
fire
build a
demonstration.
chunk of a house, and it's a fire safety. Exhibition, and they talk about how best to put in smoke detectors and how best to prevent fires in your house, and then they Well, then they light a fire.
Oh yeah, my kids.
Yeah.
Who cares about the
always-
safety? They light a big fire and they put it out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember being little and just not paying attention and looking over and seeing the big black plume and being so confused.
Yeah, no, they always do a nice job with that, and we thank them for that.
One year, I remember they did. I don't know if they do this every year because I don't always catch it. But they did 2 houses, and one was like modern,
old- yeah,
flame retardant.
That was
Yeah.
that was a really interesting year. They did it using the older materials from the past
The
and the
70s.
modern and the plastics. And one plume was just black and it went
Yeah.
up really quick.
They
And the other one was more whiter smoke and
Took longer to catch.
Yeah.
and
I
we
bel-
elected a new pope. That was good.
Well played.
I believe they collect all their furniture from the side of the road because I know I had a friend whose dad was a firefighter, and there was one year they found a dresser and it had firecrackers in it, and they left it in there to get the
On purpose.
like the
Oh, wow.
sparklers to
That's
make it more intense.
That's awesome. That's cool. All right. We'll definitely look for that. So you're still looking for volunteers for all aspects of the day, and like what do you need the most help with? What's the
Still Rocket Drive on the 25th,
Okay.
and the setup day of, we need a lot of marshals for the parade to keep it safe and a little crowd control. Just walking along the parade route with the floats, and just herding cats down at the setup down there. So yeah, everything day before, day of, and the cleanup. It ain't easy. So I'll tell you that going forward. But no, we just we go around the field in the area, and we have our bags. We pick everything up. We rake up the cardboard, the fireworks. They're these big cardboard balls, and so they're all littered around. So it's a lot of raking.
We like to have the high school teams. They usually basketball will volunteer, soccer will volunteer.
to help out?
Yeah, it's a
that's
good way
cool.
for
Shout out to
good way for high schoolers to get their volunteer hours if they're in NHS or if they just need them in general.
Yeah, exactly. All you juniors out there, let's get going.
Yeah. Come on down. Great. And any sneaky secrets we should know about? You have any tips? No? You're not giving us anything?
I don't know.
Let's
I
go to you,
say
Elizabeth.
mine is if you want a chip on the stick, get there early because
absolutely.
there's potential for them to run out of potatoes.
They ran out when I was in line
And
last
it's
year.
it's
Did they?
tragic. It's the saddest feeling. And I don't know how we can get them to have more potatoes. This is really important to me because it's like my favorite part. But if we have to have a potato fundraiser or something, I don't know.
Salt and vinegar. That's the way I always go.
Me too.
You
Me
too?
too. Yep.
All right.
What do you guys from
Salt
Rhode
and
Island?
vinegar
Oh,
or garlic
wow.
parm.
Garlic parm. I've done that one.
Well, I asked them one year. I asked the KFC how much lobster do you go to. And I asked the guy, what do you buy for this?
Yeah.
And it's in the reporter because I put in my thank you letter that I do every year. And I think the number was 600 pounds of potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I swear to God.
And I maybe eat 100 pounds.
Yeah, so get there early.
Get there
Get there before me
Yeah, for
and
sure.
all the founders of the committee eat them
First
all.
up, potatoes, then
Yeah.
lobster,
Yeah, yeah.
then strawberry shortcake,
And then
for
more
dessert.
potatoes.
And then more potatoes. Perfect. I know last year we talked a little bit. I don't think you were here, Scott, because something came up, but we did this interview. We talked about the fireworks, and they're always so good. Like, what is the secret to that? Why are they just, like, honestly the best fireworks around?
Generous donations and a great company that we hooked up with. They've been doing it since we started doing it, and they're just very good to us. Atlas Pyrotech, which they just changed their name.
I don't know what they changed it to.
They don't need
Check
the
the website.
advertisement.
Yeah,
but,
they're fine.
No, it's one of the best fireworks in the area.
Not to be biased.
We're definitely biased, but hey, if you like fireworks, it's prior to the 4th of July,
Yeah.
and it's fireworks on the 4th of July. You just go to them, 20 minutes, you leave.
Yep.
Today we got a whole day.
Yeah, it's so
Founders
true.
Day and a lot of fun stuff and music and everything. So yeah, it's good.
And they're now working at Gillette too, I heard.
Oh yeah, I believe the same company still has the Gillette contract,
Yeah,
so maybe that's why they're so nice to us.
They
Maybe
give us a little
they
extra.
think we gave them a little bump to get
Awesome.
in there.
Can't hurt, right?
Yeah, right.
What's the best place to view the fireworks? You recommend Boothfield? Do you recommend? Is there another spot?
I usually always go to Boothfield,
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
more up towards the Aggo on that hill.
Yeah, that's the best spot. I
Yeah.
like that spot too.
You get there early, have a little pizza picnic,
Yeah, that's the move.
listen to some live music.
Yeah, the fun thing about those fireworks are, and different from other ones, they're so low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, when you go to fireworks on the water or 4th of July, like I'm usually on the Cape on the 4th of July, but they're way up there. These are like the
High
counter.
level.
Yeah,
they're pretty great.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to give shout outs to who helped make the event possible? Is it the people in the yellow shirts?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah. Thank the people in the yellow shirts when you see them that day. I always hate bringing up names because I always miss someone and then they get mad at me at the next committee meeting. But Monica Fizzler takes care of our parade. Kathy Brady and Kerry Rosado take care of the field. Patty and Elizabeth take care of the fundraising at the Rocket Drive. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to leave anybody out, but those are the main committee members.
Yeah, but they're the ones with roles.
We've got Rita, Samantha does fundraising,
Right.
Louise McAuliffe, Maggie McAuliffe, Osa, Sean, Dave, Emma Fissler's been coming now too.
Yep. We recruited her. When we first started, she was 4 years old
Yeah.
and she'd be playing with her toys while her parents were on the committee.
Yeah.
And now I think she's going to be a junior. So.
Yeah. We have the Udens.
Yep.
And then
Don't forget anyone. Pressure's
Thank you.
on.
That's why
we
I
have
don't do it.
Bob. We
Bob
have
Seidman
Kevin
who works at the
Powers.
theater.
Kevin Powers takes all our minutes.
Takes our notes. He's the secretary. He's a local
We've got
attorney.
Nancy and Bruce. They just joined the
Nancy
committee
and
last
Bruce just
year.
joined, yeah.
Very
Cool.
lovely. Yeah. I'd like to shout out the college crew because
Please do.
we go in the Zooms. We have Zoom calls, usually run by my mom while we're in college, so we can still be at the meetings, make sure we're all caught up. So
Yeah.
it's
Great.
Yeah.
me, Maggie, and Osa usually.
Cool. Well, thanks for all that you guys do because it really is such a great. Yeah, you,
I
You're
totally
gonna-
That's why I
forgot.
said that's
you're
why
gonna
I
get a
don't
text from
name
someone.
it.
You
Oh.
forgot.
But
Totally
no,
forgot.
you did catch I think everybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm like looking around the table.
How do we get one of those yellow shirts with our names on it? You got to join the committee.
Yeah, you gotta be a volunteer for at least a year.
At least a
Yeah.
year, and then you get a
Get
shirt.
to a meeting. I'll get you in early.
Oh man,
I'll
I
get
was
you
asking for them.
6 months for you.
But if you do volunteer just for day of, we will give you a shirt. It's usually neon yellow, so it's similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
volunteer shirts.
We've seen 'em.
Wear them proud, yeah.
Great. All right, I wanted to end on a high note, so I just want to know from each of you, what's your favorite part of Founders Day?
When it's over.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that just as I was looking at
Yeah,
you.
definitely.
Favorite part during the day.
The two things: the music and the fireworks together.
Mm.
We have some great bands, and then finishing that off with the fireworks. It's wonderful.
Great.
I mean, I think it's obvious that I really like the Boy Scout booth.
Yeah, there you go.
I do really like the parade. I like being a parade marshal, so I'm able to see everyone. It's just so awesome to see everyone's faces. Everyone's so excited, so
Yeah.
happy, and it just makes me so happy because it shows that we're doing something big, and it puts a smile on everyone's face. You're making a big impact.
Awesome. Well, Scott O'Donnell, Elizabeth Prevost, thank you so much for giving so much of your time to this great town and such a fun event. I'm Jared Craig, your host. I also want to thank the people who made this show possible. Paul Beck is our director, Michael Weber is our executive director, and Jury Love is our producer. And special thanks to Fanny Mizarambe, who is our editor. So this has been another edition of Around Foxborough. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at Founders Day.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Thank you.